Well, Sheila, let's talk about the book a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Unpacking Queer Politics was first published in 2003.
Yeah.
What makes it relevant to this day?
Well, it's really interesting that back in 2003, there wasn't much interest in the book. And in fact, my publishers didn't want my next book because they said, well, it didn't sell very well. And I thought, well, that was a great shame because I thought the book was really needed at that time. But now, in the last 10 years or so, I've had quite a lot of inquiries and interest, mostly from young lesbians who are probably in their 20s and 30s, and they're having to deal with all this queer business and transgenderism and so on, and they're really interested in the book again for the first time. And that's astonishing to me because it's so interesting for a book to have a sort of rebirth in this way, which I'm very delighted. I'm delighted that it's useful, and I think it is useful.
Yeah, I think it's also because now we are seeing the consequences of the implementation of queer or the changes in the gay lesbian liberation movement to queer politics and the differences, and people want to understand where did it came from, how we get here. Right?
Yes, how is it that actually gay men generally in their politics do not seem to be pro-feminist or pro-lesbian? How could that be? What's going on out there?
Yeah, that's the thing. We have this idea that the gay movement is pro-feminist, and well, some parts, or it used to be.
It used to be, yes. In the early 1970s, at the time of gay liberation, a lot of gay men were very pro-feminist, and they rejected role-playing, they rejected what's now called gender entirely. That was a revolutionary time, and all of that's gone, of course. And I mean, at the time, as I talk about in the book, there were gay men who rejected cruising, which is, trying to find quick sexual interactions in public places, on Hampstead Heath, for instance, or the riverbank in Putney, where I used to live. That was being rejected and seen as, created by a hostile culture, that gay men should have to behave in those ways, and was very much rejected. And then, of course, all of those forms of male sexuality based on extreme masculinity, really, have come back, which is, of course, why I wrote the book.
Yeah.
All of the radicalism disappeared. It was overcome, as feminism has now been overcome.
Yeah, true. Maybe feminism was one of the last to surrender to liberal thinking, but it finally did, I guess, yes.